Hey there, welcome back to Owl Dragon Adventures. I'm Scott Kegler.
And I'm Rob McPherson.
And we just played the Automaton of Shale, and now we're going to talk about it. So we just spent, I don't know, God, how many hours?
We took a dinner break.
Yeah, we took a dinner break, so there was
enough time for that.
So this is the Automaton of Shale. It is a pop-up book expansion to Too Many Bones.
It is the most bespoke of my bespoke series of games from Chip.
I thought you were going to say it's your most expensive pop-up book.
Well, it's the only pop-up book I own. So
sure.
I am more excited about having a pop-up book at age 30 than I should be.
I was going to say, two men pushing 40 on a Sunday afternoon playing a pop-up book.
Yeah.
But so we finished this, and essentially it's if you've played Too Many Bones, which if you haven't, you should be playing Too Many Bones. Spoilers ahead of time. It's both of ours, if not our top game of all time, it's in the top 3.
Yeah, it's really close. It's really close to top 10.
Fantastic.
Top 1.
Yeah.
It's in top 10 for sure. Sorry.
It's an excellent game, tactical, asymmetrical, skirmish, dungeon crawler kind of game.
It's a dice building game is how they bill it. So it's a character building with dice.
So in that game, if you've played Too Many Bones, you're generally going on an adventure where you're leaving to go fight some tyrant. So it's you are building up your character over a course of days and going different battles.
Yep, it ranges between, I think the shortest one I've ever done is like a 6-day. This one was an 11-day.
Right, so you spend 11 days going on different adventures. Some days have a battle, some days don't.
Yep.
But there's always kind of a choice, similar to like a Gloomhaven, where you're like, do you want to do A or do you want to do B? And go on throughout as you go through these days. This one just happens to do a full tyrant adventure, but with the added hilarity of
a pop-up book
with verse written in it.
Yeah, with verse, and beautifully written verse, I might say.
Very, very well written. As you're going through what you would normally do in the game, which is just through a small deck of cards that you're going through, making these A/B choices throughout it, but just adding that. And adding new baddie chips, so the enemies are called baddies in Too Many Bones. It's very cutesy.
So spoiler, but the tyrant that you are fighting in this is the Automaton of Shale.
So we're building up. We know what we're going against. It's a lot of fun. We did what our favorite is. We ran it with both two-handing, so we both had one different Gearlocs. So these are the adventurers.
Yeah, so I played with the Lab Rats and with Duster, which is from Undertow.
And I played with Patches from the core game of Too Many Bones, and Gasket, he's just the
add-ons,
add-on character, which was a lot of fun. So we only did 10 of the 11 days.
We decided to dive right into that. When you hit the
threshold at a certain point, you can just go ahead and fight the tyrant. And we hit that threshold, and we figured, why not?
What's the worst that can happen?
So, again, for a gameplay side, this is one where you're going to get into it. It's going to be crunchy. It's going to be a lot of character design. Do I take this ability or do I take this ability? So from a gameplay, if you love that, there's lots of that in the Automaton of Shale.
And what I will say about the Automaton, more than other tyrants that I've run, is they gave us so many training points throughout this. We've never built our characters so intensely as we have in this. It was insane.
Well, at first you get so distracted by new shiny. They're like, here, you have a skill point. You have a skill point. We're like, oh, this is great. Until the third day, we're like, wait a second.
Why are you giving us health packs?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
So we were excited about getting into it.
Yep.
So from a gameplay side, it wasn't any really different than Too Many Bones. So that is automatically a high for me because I just enjoy the exercise of Too Many Bones. But if you do like the game, it's going to give you more loot, more trove loot, more baddies, and just more of what you already like, more encounters. So very fun, and it's all just kind of encapsulated in this one little adventure.
Yeah, no, gameplay is high. It's their standard tyrant stuff, but it just was added so much to it. I liked how they curated the different encounters you had, so you really had a story as you went through this one. But at the end of the day, you can just shuffle everything into the game and just play these encounters as normal.
Yeah, I've always loved and last thing on gameplay for me is I've always loved the encounter writing, but like having the verse kind of just made it kind of a fun little event.
Here, I'll give you a little preview because it's on the back here, I noticed. Never before have Gearlocs sprung to life so vividly, nor has an evil tyrant struck at them so lividly. So join us on our journey as we try hard not to die, and keep this tome held at arm's length, lest you should lose an eye. Get it? Because it's a pop-up book.
Yeah. Hilarious. So I really enjoyed the gameplay, but I was kind of I guess I'm glad I wasn't let down. It met all my expectations.
Accessibility.
It is. I'll have a few dings on it actually for accessibility. I love chip theory, and I feel like we're always going to say, for the most part, I've always loved, with like one exception, love chip theory games. But dear God. There's a few things we had to definitely get out our phones a couple times to make sure we understood.
That's one thing I'm really disappointed about. I don't know if I missed something or if maybe my copy was missing like a cheat sheet that it should have had. I doubt that though. But there were a couple of different skills on the baddies that were not on either Undertow's or the base game's
we had to look up
sheet.
Two different ones. One we were able to find online, and then one we just had to be like, I think it does this.
Right, yeah. I don't remember
and we had to kind of guess. One was called Return.
Yeah, Return. That was the one we never figured out. The other one was Pull In, which
we were thematically able to figure it out, and I found it on BGG. Thank you, BGG. But but other than that, its accessibility is low because it's a chip theory game, and it's one of the more complicated chip theory games.
It's not Cloudspire, but it's
so it's tough. And from an accessibility side, having played, if this is like the first thing you jump in with, like you get a copy of Too Many Bones, and then this. You might have a very hard time because some of the adventurers, the battles were very difficult. We had a relatively easy time, but I think we kind of min-maxed ourselves very well.
There was a couple of them that they were like, but no, we were pretty good.
But but it's tough. And from the strategy side, you have to there's like a certain way to play Too Many Bones, and even then, the game it's like D&D, where a curveball can still come in there and completely ruin your day, or end up being like a Hail Mary. Yeah, it'd be a Hail Mary to be amazing.
Yeah.
So low accessibility.
Yeah.
Design. This beautiful box. And it's a very fun, tying their series into this kind of adorable, but still kind of like creepy kind of gothic look of a pop-up book was just a blast. And when you're doing like the one that really jumped out at me was so stupid. The one that did though was the tie-in with Undertow with the one that had, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there was like water that like is all, as you're looking at the page, there's like the water coming out at you with the raft, which again isn't really a spoiler because you're in Undertow. The raft of that game kind of like,
so it's funny action. I was going to show some of the pages as B-roll, but I think I will just I'll show you guys the first page, but I'm not going to show you the rest.
Yeah, there's a lot of spoilers in here, so we'll try not to talk about specific, other than obviously there's an automaton.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the water one. I really liked the art in it. If you get a chance to play it and check it out, that one to me was like my favorite in the design.
And not to be cryptic, but the only page that we were a little disappointed about, at the end I went back and I found out we weren't disappointed because it did exactly what we wanted it to.
It's so stupid. Yeah, we were making a TikTok video for our TikTok channel, and there was something I'm like, we should do this, and then we found out there was a tab.
Do that. Yeah. So look for little tabs and pulls and everything.
Yeah, look around. Be careful because you're paying a lot of premium price. But, did enjoy that. That's for me on design. It's a high. Everything was really attractive still. I liked the art on the automaton particularly.
Yes. You can't tell at all. It's the same artist that did the burn cycle. Yep.
Yeah. Where'd you land on design?
Design's definitely a high for me. In fact, they took their normal design standards and jacked it up for this with the pop-up book. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this started off as a joke, and then they're like, wait.
It's kind of like so much of their identity now is Too Many Bones now. But
sure.
So I guess next thing is on quality. I really loved the quality of I know it's a pop-up book, but like I thought it was like very attractive. They could have just done like simple designs in pop-up books, like, but they were all
it was crazy. There were some of the pages that were just absolutely insane. They did such a good job with it.
Yeah, that one that wasn't the only one that was like elaborate, but that one was very fun. And the incorporating of this isn't a spoiler, but you're going to get new baddie chips in the game. You're going to get new cards.
So this is playable, as we've been mentioning, and there's little foldouts that have the verse on them, but that's also where they store the cards, so that you when you get to the next day, like if you're out of encounter cards, you flip to the next page, and when you open it up, there's the next encounter card, so it flows really well. It was very
you're basically replacing just the deck that you normally would do. So I liked all that, and it's quality. It's
Yep.
I mean, I think it's almost useless talking about quality with the chip theory games. I haven't had a bad experience with them with that stuff. So I guess next is value. What is this retail?
This was $60.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that said, I think like if you're going to compare it to like Tyranny of what's it called? I forgot the name of the full of it.
Rage of Tyranny.
Rage of Tyranny.
Yep.
This was one of their expansions. Which is usually those are like 40. I can't remember if they increase the price.
So I will say, if you are looking at this from a value standpoint of gameplay only, it's not going to be there. This is not a gameplay thing that I bought. I bought it because I knew I was buying a piece of artwork, and that's what it is. So I got a really cool piece of artwork that I could also play.
Yeah, I mean, and I think like some of the price is mitigated by the extra cards you're getting. Like, you know, you could usually I could see them like charging $20 for the amount of extra cards and baddie chips you got.
Sure.
Like $20-$25. So really you're paying like the premium of another $35-$40
for a pop-up book.
For this pop-up book with really good art of the game series.
Yeah.
And they do lots of other stuff. They do like other art
shadow boxes.
Shadow boxes. And this is entirely unique for them. But there is something, and it's not a spoiler. We won't go into details of it. There is also, it's referred to in the contents as, so you get a pop-up book.
Yep.
But you also get a mystery deck. So there's that. And
so someone please in the comments, tell me if I missed the part where it instructed me to open it, because I didn't see it anywhere. I still opened it.
But so there's a mystery deck for what that's worth. So you're getting a pop-up book, some baddie chips, and some cards, and a mystery deck with. There's more details there.
And I mean, if you send me a game that has you can't open this until, I'm sold.
Yeah.
It's the part of legacy games that I love. Yeah. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, you love that stuff.
I do. It's shiny.
We all have our thing.
Yep.
I don't know what my thing is.
Sure.
Usually it's just shiny metal components. I love metal components.
It's true.
Such a sucker. Like coins. You give me metal coins in a game, I'm done.
Yep.
It'd be a terrible game. I'm like, look at the coins.
So that's
So I think for value, I think it's again, I think it's super subjective. But because I mean, not that it's
and I know we've been going through our normal 5 points here, but it's so hard to do our normal 5 points on a single
on an
tyrant.
Expansion.
Yeah, it's a single tyrant expansion, so it is what it is. So in that regard, I will say that it is a very good add-on to an already great game, but I'm not sure that a number value does
if you love, like capital L love Too Many Bones, I'm going to give this like a caveat. This is like a 10 out of 10 experience.
Yes.
We cleared a Sunday afternoon. We did this all Saturday afternoon.
I resisted from the time it was shipped to me through his COVID until I could play it.
So really, if you do, you love it. If you don't like Too Many Bones, you're not going to like this.
Right.
This isn't going to change anything about Too Many Bones.
No.
To make you, if you don't like it, to like the game. But again, if you, and I'm very passionate about the game, if you like it, I think you'll laugh, you'll enjoy, you'll like the art, you'll know. Actually, that's the funny thing too. If you don't play a lot of the game, there are references to other Gearlocs in the story.
Yes.
In the pop-up book that, whether or not you're playing them are referenced in there.
They interact with you a little bit.
Right. So, I think you just kind of have to, love the universe of Daylor a little bit to fully appreciate it.
And we definitely don't, because we don't all each have much of Unbreakable coming our way.
Yeah, I think between the two of us, there's, nothing we don't have almost of Too Many Bones.
There is nothing released that we don't own right now, I don't think.
One thing.
One.
Splice and Dice.
Splice and Dice, that's right.
But
we're saving that until we play through all the Tyrants.
We're working on it.
In other words, I'll probably pick it up at Gen Con if it's there.
It's true, right? But yeah, so thank you to Chip Theory Games. Really had a blast with this. I would love to see something like this again in the future, but maybe not another pop-up book, something creative again, a way of doing a Tyrant. I thought this is a fun way to kind of sneak us in some expansion content without having to have a full like Unbreakable thing where it's like
Agreed.
a full...
Agreed.
Had a blast with it. Because I said it in our burn cycle video, I'm going to say it again. If you want me to spend more money, I will gladly do it. If you throw me some... The one thing that's still missing from the experience of Too Many Bones that I get in burn cycle is miniatures. So...
And we know that you have little metal discs in there, so you can even make them magnetic.
I would love me some Too Many Bones miniatures. Just saying. I would go nuts for that.
Scott would mortgage his house.
Yeah, for sure. But so, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. We will post some more stuff on this. I'm sure this won't be our last time talking about Too Many Bones or the Automaton of Shale. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Any questions, again, comments below. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for checking in, and we wish you good luck with all of your board game adventures.
And thank you for joining us on ours.